Hi everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. So we wait for your classmate to come in first, yeah. macam-macam. Hi everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. So I will record the session so that you can refer back to the recorded videos lah. So in order to retrieve the videos, you can check the date from your calendar lah. So today we discuss about the answer of your midterm. So after you upload your mark midterm answer sheet in the respective folder, you can check your result lah. Okay, so for question number 1, you need to identify the validity of the following identifiers, whether it is valid or invalid. Okay, and then you need to state a reason. Okay, so for question number 1, so this is the identifier, name, and then space 2. So this one is invalid. Why? Because in naming your identifier, you cannot put any space. Okay, and then for sub question 2, to name. So this one is also invalid. Because in order to name your identifier, you cannot start with a digit. Okay, and then for sub question 3, we have dollar sign and then name. So this one is valid. Because you can start naming your identifier with dollar sign. Okay, and then sub question 4, underscore name. So this one also valid. Because in naming your identifier, you can begin with underscore. And then the last one is static. So this one is invalid. Because static is a reserved word. Okay, so 0.5 marks for stating the result to justify whether it is invalid or valid, and then another 0.5 mark if you state the reason. Okay, if you answer like this, I will give you 5 marks for question number 1B. Okay. So for question number 2, you need to write, for question number 1B, you need to write the test power class based on this output. Okay, the first one, your system will prompt the user to enter the base number. So this one is 5.0, right? So this one is double lah. Because it received decimal point, right? Decimal point number, right? So it should be double. Okay, and then again your system will prompt the user to enter the exponent number, and then the user entered 2.0. This one also double. Okay, so this is your final output lah. 5.0 comes from this one. Power off is your statement, and then 2.0 comes from this one. And then you get the total number of 25.0. Okay, so this is the sample output. This is the sample output. And then for this question, you need to use math and scanner class. Okay.
Miss, you are muted.
Okay, so for question 1B, so this is the code. Okay, so because you need to receive the user input, you need to import using scanner lah, as usual. Okay, and then the question asks you to write the test power number class. So you need to provide an exact test power number class. If you wrote other class, I will deduct marks lah. Okay, and then you can have your main method here. And then in order to receive the user input, you need to create a new scanner object. Okay, and then you have a print statement by using system.out.print. So this enter the base number is referred to this one. Enter the base number. Okay, so in order to receive the input from the user, which is a floating point, you need to use double here. Okay, the combination for the double, we are using next double. And then another print statement, this one, enter the exponent number. So this one lah, enter the exponent number. Okay, and then to receive the decimal point input, like this, 2.0 is the decimal point, right? So again, you can use double together with next double to read the input. Okay, and then the last one is you want to print the result, right? So like this lah. Base one. Base comes from the user input base, and then power off is the statement, power off. And then 2.0 here is equal to exponent, right? So exponent comes from the user input here. And then equal to. Okay, equal to plus, because the question asks you to use math, right? Plus math.pow, and then inside your parentheses you can have base and also the exponent's value lah. If you are using, if you answer this question by using your own method, I will deduct marks. Okay, so in terms of marks, because the question, the total marks for this question is 10 marks, right? So each line indicates 1 mark. Okay. So total marks is 10 marks. Okay. So this one is indicate errors. Okay, so for this one, the total mark is 10 marks. So it should have 5 errors lah. 5 errors, and then you need to give the solution and also the reason lah. Okay, and then the first error is in line 2. So this one error. It should return int sum. Because here sum is a method, right? So sum actually should return a total. Sum method is returning a total. Okay, so because it is returning a total, right? So total is integer, right? So that's why it should be int.
Ni daunnya tak boleh makan, letak tepi ni.
Okay, and then the second error is here. It should be int array. Okay, so because here variable array here is not representing a, because variable array here is representing an array. Okay, not other types of identifier. Okay, and then the third error is here. It should be array dot length. Okay, because length here is not a method. Okay, and then the fourth error is here. It should be array. Okay, so because array here is also not a method. And then the fifth error is here. It should be sum r. Okay, because sum r here is a method. We want to return a method, not an array. So if you identify the error and then you give the reason together with, if you identify the error and then you suggest the solution and together with a reason, I will give you 10 marks in total. Okay? Fix error and then give reason. So you will get 10 marks. Okay, and then for 1D, you need to
Miss, the last question, right? The question asks for reason.
Because the schema, you need to provide the reason, but somehow if you don't provide the reason, I will deduct 1 mark actually. 1 mark only. So after this, you can request me to, after we discuss this paper, you can request me to recheck your paper lah. Let me finish this first, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so for 1D, you need to identify whether this scenario is instance variable or static variable. Okay, so for this one, I think we already discussed about it before you sit for your midterm, right? So we have two situations here. The first one is the blood type of a person. So this one is instance variable. Second one is static variable. The third one is instance variable. Okay, so static variable means all. So the keyword for static variable is all. So so this is a statement. The blood color of a person, basically in Earth, the blood color is red, right? So it applies to all person. So it is static variable. Okay, but for the instance variable, the keyword is specific. Okay, for example, we have blood type A, AB, O, and B, right? So not all people not all people have blood type A, and there are some of people could have blood type B, AB, right? So it is specific based on the person lah. So that's why we call it as instance variable. Same case for the blood volume of person, and it is also instance. Because let's say you opt for blood donation, right? Okay, let's say your friend might donate about 1 pint, but you can donate 3 pints. It depends on the person. So it is instance variable. Okay, and then for question number 2, so this is the UML diagram of subject class. So in this subject class, you have 3 data members, or you have 3 variables, or you have 3 properties. Okay, so the first one is subject title, second one is subject hour, and the third one is subject count. And then together with these data members, you also have few methods here. So this one is para no arguments constructor. This one is parameterized constructor. With 2 parameters. And then set and getter method. And then this one is a method lah. Depends on another method lah. And then you have override method. Okay, so based on this UML diagram, you need to you need to write a code based on this UML diagram, and then you need to use this keyword. Okay, and then you need to create setter and getter method for all instance data members. And then you, inside your parameterized constructor, you should increase the value of subject count by 1. And then also you need to create toString method, in which your toString method will return all the information about the subject, object, except subject count. Okay, so for question 2A, so first of all you need to declare your data members. So in this subject class we have 3 data members, right? The first one is subject title, second one is credit hour, and the third one is subject count. Okay, and then but for the subject count we set it as static. Okay, again, don't forget to set your data members to private because we want to limit the access. Okay, and then after we declare the variables, okay, after we declare data members, we construct the method lah. So the first one is you need to construct the no arguments constructor. Okay, so anything bounded with this symbol, this parenthesis symbol, is called a method. This one also a method. Method, and so on lah. But somehow, a constructor is a special method in which the name of your constructor is similar with your class name. So if in your class you have a method that has the same name with your class name, we call it as constructor. Okay, so inside your parenthesis here, should be your arguments, but somehow if there is no arguments inside your parenthesis, we call it as no arguments constructor. Okay, and then if we have arguments here inside your parenthesis, we call it as parameterized constructor. Okay, but somehow inside your parenthesis here, we have 2 data members, right? We have 2 variables. So we call it as parameterized constructor with 2 parameters. Okay. And then inside your no arguments constructor, we set the subject title and credit hour to an empty string and to 0 by using this. Okay, and then inside your parameter constructor, we are using this also. Okay, why we use this? Because we want to make a difference between the attribute of the method and also the name that is declared in the class. So that's why we use this. Okay, so we use this also in order to avoid data shadowing. Okay, and then in your code also you need to have setter and getter methods. Okay, so in order to create setter and getter method, you need to look into your data members first. Okay, so basically if you have 2 instance data members, you need to create 2 getters and also 2 setters. Okay, so in this case we have subject title and credit hour is your instance data members, right? So first one you need to create setters for subject title and also say getters for subject title. So this is getters for subject title because the type is string, right? So it will return subject title. For the setters, the method type is void. So for void, it cannot return a value, but it can pass a value here. So that's why in this method, you don't have a return statement here. Void cannot return any values. Okay, inside the setter methods for subject title, we are using this keyword also. Okay, and then this one is done, and then we need to create setters and getters method for credit hour. Okay, so this is the getter method. for the credit hour, because the type is NT, right, integer, right? So it should return a credit hour, which is the data type is integer. And then also the setter method for credit hour, the return type is void. I repeat again, because the method type is void, we cannot return a value here, but it can receive a value of credit hour. And again, in this setter method, we can apply this keyword. Basically, we are using this to avoid data shadowing. Okay, up until this one, setter and getter method. And then inside your method, you have get subject count method. So this one is a method request by your question. So get subject count method. So this one lah. So this is your get subject count method. The type is int, right? This one. So it should return an integer of subject count. Okay. And then the question asks you this one. The parameterized constructor should increase the value of subject count by 1. So you need to look at your parameterized constructor is here. This one should increase the value of subject count by 1. So you should increase this one lah. Subject count plus plus. Or you can even write subject count plus 1. Okay, so this is how you answer, so this is how you fulfill the requirement of bullet 3. And then bullet 4, there's two string method that will return all information about the subject except subject count. So you need to create your two string method lah. So this is your two string method. Because the type is not void, right? So it can return a value. In this case, it will return all information except subject count. So like this lah. Subject titles is your statement, and then subject title here is retrieved from your code, and then credit hour, and then also credit hour. So if you code like this, you will receive 12 marks, a total of 12 marks. So the duration of your marks is something like this. Okay, so 1 mark if you wrote the class name, and then each declaration of your data members, I will award you 1 mark for each data members. And then for the constructor, 1 mark. For the parameterized constructor, 2 marks. Setter and getter method, 1 mark. Setter and getter method for credit hour, 1 mark. Get subject count, 1 mark. And then for the two string method, you will be awarded 2 marks. Okay. And then for question 2B. So you need to write a driver program or main program for your subject class. So this is the template of your code lah. So based on this main program, you need to create an array of two subject object by calling two different constructor. Okay, so this is the values for your output. So no user input needed. Okay, then after that you need to assign values to data properties for the object created using no arguments constructor. And then in order to display the output, you need to use for loop. So you need to key in the two information of your subject, which is the first one is database management, and then the second is database application. Then after that, you need to view the total number of subject, which is equal to 2. So this is the total number of subject lah. Okay, so for 2B, so this is the answer for your 2B. Okay, the first one is you need to create an array of two subject object by calling two different constructor. So by this one lah. Okay, and then after that you need to assign value to data purpose by using for the object created by using no arguments constructor. So this one lah. So you need to use to use four different methods lah. And then in order to view this output, so you need to use for looping. Okay, so in order to create your for looping, you need to have three items. The first one is initialization. The second one is the condition, and then the third one is whether it is increment or decrement. So basically for the initialization values, in order to loop, we initialize the values with 0. Okay, so this is the default values for any initialization. And then for the subject, for the condition, we compare the values with subject length. Okay, so this one is basically depends on the subject. Like if you enter for subject, it will auto compare with 4. And then your I value will increment one by one. And then we can have a print statement. So in order to view this subject one, okay, you can have this print statement, subject, this one, and then one here comes from this one, I plus 1. Okay, so the initial value of I is 0, right? So 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. So that's why it will display 1 here. And then you have another print statement that will show you this symbol. So this one somehow is a bonus mark for you lah. So you should display this one also. Okay, so in order to view the subject title and credit hour, you can have a print statement, and in which your print statement should simply call the toString method. So toString method is here. So this is your toString method. So it returns subject title and also credit hour. You can simply call toString method in order to get this one, subject title and credit hour. And then the last one is total number of subject is equal to 2, right? So this statement should be outside your for looping. If this statement is inside your for looping, it will loop twice. Okay. Okay, so this is the statement. Total number of subject is equal to this one. So here you can simply call the get subject count method. So this is your get subject count lah. So it will return the total number of subject count. Okay, so in terms of data division, okay, 1 mark for each line up until this line, and then 0.5 mark will be awarded for displaying these symbols, and then 1 mark for call the toString method, and another 1.5 marks will be given if you write this statement. So total marks for question 2B is 10 marks. Okay. This one. Okay, let me answer your question. Based on the answer scheme, you also need to write a reason. Oh, can our assignment write web? Yeah, sure. Okay, anyone wants to modify your marks or wants me to recheck your paper? Hands up. Let me check your paper. Kevin, let me check your paper, yeah? Kevin. Okay, Kelvin, you can recheck your result. Yes, need to put some reason lah. Because I've already asked Mr. Hang, he said that you need to put a reason. But somehow, if you don't put any reason, I will deduct only 1 mark lah. Wait a minute, yeah. Okay, Noel Lian, you can recheck your paper. Wei Hu. Okay, Chan Wei Ho, you can recheck your paper. Why can you check yours? 2 different mark. You submit multiple files lah. Can Yan.
One PDF and one Google Doc.
Okay, let me check.
Ah.
And yeah. A minute, yeah. Okay, Kenya, you can recheck your paper.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay. Let me check again. Yep, sync. Yep, sync. Okay, Captain, you can recheck your paper. Okay, for Min Juan, for assignment, issue and academic is necessary. Yes, you need to, for each class, you need to add constructor and then the method and also settle and getter lah. Using. For using, you can recheck your paper. Low. Low Chowen, you can recheck your paper. Lim Sheng. Lim Cheng Yin, you can recheck your paper. Noel, let me recheck your paper again. You have reason. For 1C, you have reason. So that's why I give you 10 marks. Sandra.